them donations to Child's Play, they would love to give you some cookies for an unassociated reason.
Yes. Basically, I'll be walking around, wave your arm when I'm walking through your aisle, and I will try to get to you eventually. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you all for joining us here, the Loading Ready Run panel. This is the first time that we've actually had a panel during like regular hours. Such we are also broadcasting live on Twitch. So hello everybody there on Twitch. Which is great because it finally means that I can do a paraphrase of DX by saying to the hundreds in attendance and the thousands watching around the world. Loading Ready Run! They might, well that's the thing. I don't know. Yeah. They might just be watching because it's PAX, which is why I wanted to start off. Usually, we start the panel by doing, who doesn't know who we are, who is just here, and we do like a hand raise thing. But on the off chance that there's, I'm going to go on a limb here and say that more so than in previous years, there's people here who may not know who we are because of our recent work for PA with Strip Search, and certainly people watching at home may not know. So I thought I'd do a brief rundown of who in the hell we are. Loading Ready Run. So, oh yeah, there's a number on the next slide that I didn't fill out. James, do you know how many Loading Ready Run sketches we've done?
462.
Is that just a guess?
Absolutely. Wait, like
just the sketches?
Just the sketches?
Yeah.
You do pretty quick math.
You should be able to math this fairly.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so Loading Ready Run started in 2003 as a sketch comedy.
494. Quick math.
Really? Nice. All right. We've done a sketch every week since then, in 2003, which that X number is actually 494 videos in that time.
We should probably actually figure that number out so we have something good to do with our 500.
Yeah, that close. Oh, wow. Yeah, geez, it's like
6 weeks from now. I don't think so.
We're
it's
good
what,
at
like
planning.
6 weeks away now?
All right. For anybody watching at home who's a wiki master, go and figure out exactly how many we've done. And if you
I think our wiki masters are here.
All right.
Anyway, so you may know us from that. We also, since 2000, I want to say 7, have done a series called Unskippable for the Escapist. Where myself and Paul basically do Mystery Science Theater style riffing on the beginnings of video games. Then we also do Checkpoint on PATV. Which is gaming news commentary, which is mostly for comedy purposes, but occasionally we have something more weighty to say. Usually couched in satire, but sometimes things just get our goat. Yeah.
Sometimes it just falls out.
In a completely not serious vein, there's also the show Feed Dump on the Escapist. Grab the screenshot.
Picture you choose?
Yeah. I feel it encapsulates. I believe Beige is in the middle of swearing in French. I don't know if we're allowed to swear now that we're on the Twitch stream or not. I mean, it's PAX, but so obviously.
Okay, if you are watching at home, swears may happen. You've been warned.
And then the most recent big thing that we've done is that we are producing Strip Search for Penny Arcade. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend it. A lot of people this weekend today, I guess, have come up to us already and been like, I don't like reality shows, but I really like Strip Search. So I recommend you check it out. It's funny because during Strip Search, the artists were like, can I swear in the interviews? Is that okay? And I was like, this is Penny Arcade. Yeah. Yeah, go for it. They're foul. And also, something we did about a year and a half ago, but recently returning, is our series Friday Nights. is a sitcom about ourselves playing Magic and the adventures therein, and we produce that for WotC. You can find new episodes of it every month on dailymtg.com, and of course, our Twitter links to it as well. And probably the biggest thing that we do in terms of like planning and scope and everything is the annual Desert Buster Code fundraiser. You just see that picture and you're like, oh, yeah. And on top of that, we do Let's Play videos and podcasts and behind-the-scenes videos, and we stream Magic drafting and stuff on Twitch TV, and all kinds of things. So if you like stuff...
Boy, do we have you covered.
Boy, do we have you covered
we
for
will
stuff.
fill your eyes with stuff.
So wanted to... We'll be doing... mostly Q&A for the panel, but first I wanted to show you, if I can find my mouse, there it is, show you all Monday's episode of Checkpoint. Oh, wait. What? There we go. Oh, hang on. There we go. What is this, like 2003? Oh, you use a Mac. Yeah, because I do video. All right.
Today, you might not like Origin, but boy, hackers sure do. This is Checkpoint.
Welcome to Checkpoint, where we're just back from PAX East, and wow, I'm really wiped out. How about you, Graham?
Oh, me too.
You know what I think we need?
What?
A hype update to get going.
Okay, cool. You do that, and I'll read the first story. And now for another fun-filled installment of Patch Notes of the Damned. This time it's Gearbox's latest patch for the PC version of Aliens Colonial Marines. Some of the fixes are as follows. Added additional safeguards to better protect save data. Addressed several scenarios in which players could spawn without a weapon. Changes to better prevent the audio from cutting out during end-of-mission cinematics. Addressed some instances where Xenos were displaying erratic animations. Resolved several instances where players could walk or fall outside of the maps, and addressed an issue where Ripley's flamethrower would fire continuously without player input, which of all of them seems like the most crucial.
Dope Nod Entertainment had a difficult time getting its upcoming game, Remember Me, picked up by a publisher. Was it because the Cyberpunk game has a unique premise about hacking neural implants to remix memories? Nope, it's because Remember Me's main character is a lady. According to the company's creative director, Jean-Max Morris, some potential publishers backed away from the project because they didn't think the game would succeed without a male lead. I would just like to take a second here to thank Capcom for having enough faith in the human race to publish this title. I mean, first off, who would ever want to play as a gross, cootie-infested girl? And then, their minds are so tiny and filled with hormones. I didn't think they were smart enough to identify with a video game hero that isn't a straight, handsome, burly white dude bro like all men are.
Are you planning to pick up Resident Evil 6 for the PC? Well, there's some free DLC coming your way. Coach, Nick, Rochelle, and Ellis, the survivors from Left 4 Dead 2, will be available as playable characters in the game's mercenary mode, and you'll be able to kill the Left 4 Dead enemies, the Witch, and the Mini-Tank. Meanwhile, back in a good zombie game, Left 4 Dead players get the joy of Resident Evil zombies walking around in Left 4 Dead. Not only is RE6 getting the more interesting characters here, but, and I don't really know how else to put this, Left 4 Dead already has zombies.
EA is apologizing for the SimCity server kerfuffle by giving out free games. If you register your copy of SimCity before today, March 25th, you can get your choice of boring games like Battlefield 3, Bejeweled 3, Mass Effect 3, or Need for Speed Most Wanted. But why would you get those when you can get a free copy of SimCity 4? Now, you whiners want an offline version of SimCity? There. Now shut up and let John Riccatello get back to counting his mountain of retirement money. Come on, guys. They're giving him 2 years of salary. Do you know how much that is? He's just gonna need some John time.
Some enterprising hackers at the Black Hat Security Conference have demonstrated a scary exploit for Origin. Come with me on this hypothetical journey to explain how it works. Say you're browsing Origin and you remember you want to play Crysis 3. You click a link to the game and a new URL loads in your browser telling Origin to launch Crysis 3. But did you know that you can add extra stuff to that URL? Extra stuff that can tell Origin to do pretty much anything? Turns out Origin doesn't really check those URLs. That means if you click a compromised URL, someone can launch anything on your computer or anything on the internet. Of course, anything is a broad term, since what someone would be launching is malware, trojans, rootkits, you know. It's not just Origin though. Steam had a problem like this just a few months ago, which has since been fixed. But still, if your game purchase options are online service or Crazy John's Crack, Crab, and Stolen Games Emporium, as long as you're not allergic to shellfish, the safer choice might be the offline one.
You know, there's a Crazy John's franchise in my neighborhood, but I've never been. I'll have to check it out. Wow, are you still feeling wiped out?
No.
I did my hype-up dance, it didn't work. Maybe I need to do my hype-up song and my hype-up dance at the same time.
I don't think so.
I think I do.
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's awesome.
No.
Y'all ready for this?
Coming up, ever want to see an anthropomorphized Xbox sing in a girl group with a PS3 and a Wii? Hyperdimension Idol Neptunia PP has you covered, but not the Xbox. She needs to vent heat.
Right.
They all know what's going on in my mind at all times. Just
Yeah, the reason that they give in the Neptunia games for why the Xbox character is so scantily clad is because the Xbox gets hot and has to vent heat.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually a joke. So, right. So that was Monday's episode of Checkpoint, which of course, we're talking about after PAX East, but we shoot the show on Wednesdays. So. Now we're going to move on to primarily Q&A. So if you guys have some Qs, we will provide as many A's as we can. And the system for that is that we have a wireless mic that someone's bringing over, and then I just realized we need someone to act as a runner for that.
Lily.
Yeah, I was going to say. So,
Love it.
Theater Enforcer Chip is going to give you this mic, and you're going to run to that. And if you have a question, please throw your hand up and sort of shuffle over to the aisles or something, and then Lily will bring the mic to you.
Hello? Yes, sir.
And then we will answer the questions. It's actually difficult for us to see you because the lights are right. Oh, there we go. All right.
Thank you, Chip.
Oh, there's more of you than I thought. That's delightful.
I have one over here.
All right, Lily. What's the first question?
Hello. I just saw on that video was Checkpoint 93. So not only is it Loading Ready Run going to be hitting 500, but now Checkpoint is going to be hitting 100.
So is
Are you ever going to celebrate an anniversary ever?
Well, okay, for the 100th episode of Unskippable, we did a complete, the Unskippable Guide to Video Game Cinematics, where we, basically just made fun of the things that we see show up over and over again in video game cutscenes, like how, a crow is always used really ham-handedly for creepy symbolism. And then, I think around Unskippable 203, we were like, we didn't do anything for the 200th, did we? No. So yeah, we're bad at that, I guess is what we're saying. We're up to 220 now on Unskippable.
We've talked about stuff for Feed Dump 100. Well, very briefly last week, but I like the idea, so we should do it.
A quirk of Feeddom is that the scheduling has worked out that we have made 93 episodes of that program, and James and I have never co-hosted.
It's true.
Never. That's
Travesty.
the only combo that hasn't been done. We have scissored together Loading Ready Run friends and
Whoa.
crew members. I'm getting warmed up, okay?
Should we plane dump on the way home? It is the three of us.
Oh, we should plane dump.
it's feasible. It'd just be it'd be very difficult to hear over just the.
Do it in the bathroom.
I'd be like, I'll go into the bathroom and read a story, and then I'll come back out and be like, okay, this is the story I read. Here's the camera. Go into the bathroom.
Please do that. We can do that with our iPhones.
The flight attendants are like, why do you guys keep going into the bathroom?
We all have explosive diarrhea.
And it needs to be documented.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mile High Dump. Lily, you found something
Questions
else?
back here.
What? Oh, further questions. There's one of them there.
That man's standing right there.
Simple question. Will Paul have 4 PS4s?
A couple people asked us this on Twitter. We hadn't even thought of it. We were like, oh my god, of course.
We can probably make that.
I think we have to do that, yeah. Because
So we have
PS4s. We need him to regrow the beard for a bunch of different characters. We need to be like, okay, Paul, just grow the beard back out. We'll shoot a ton of stuff in like a 3-week period.
Yeah,
then you can The beard was fearsome and glorious, but I think everyone, including Paul, thinks that
he's past that phase of his life. The evil phase.
The evil phase. Who's
Alright.
next?
Oh, I have a question that doesn't have to do with the show, but has to do with video games.
All right.
Alright, the Wii U came out recently. Why should I buy one, or why shouldn't I?
I don't have one, so. Do you have one, Graham?
I don't, and like the controller thing sounds really, really cool. But when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, the Wii U came out, and I thought about my Wii, and I thought about how much dust is encasing my Wii, and I was like,
I dusted it like last week.
oh, I'm sorry.
So now it's a clean, unused week.
Yeah. And I was like, it actually, Extra Credits did an episode about this. I think it's the current episode about what makes the system. It's not its hardware and the flashy stuff, but the games for it. And there's just not enough.
Yeah, not yet.
It seems cool, but so I don't know. I don't actually care if you want to buy one, go for it. But I don't think there's any great opinion either way. Where'd Lily go? Oh, there's back there.
Hi. I was just wondering, where is everyone else?
All right. Jeremy is back in Victoria working. Matt is in Vancouver learning. Paul is in Victoria
Sleeping.
I don't know.
Sleeping.
He's probably. I would like to think he's watching right now.
He's probably watching.
Paul, if you're watching right now, text me.
Same goes for Matt
And Jared, yeah. If you guys are watching, text me. I can relay a message to these fine people for
Yes.
you. Who else is there? Do you care about anybody else? No? He's shaking his head no, so. Morgan is in Europe right now, actually. He's in Ireland. What? Beach is Victoria.
Victoria.
Doing beach things. Bill's also in Victoria.
Doing Bill stuff.
Doing Bill stuff.
Only Bill can do Bill stuff. Do not try and do Bill stuff.
Never ever try to do Bill stuff.
Now children.
Dangerous.
Next.
Okay. I have a quick question. In the brand new episode of Friday Nights, whose pack of Unhinged was that?
Ah, that's a good question.
Oh, you mean like in the show?
In the video.
Or you mean like the prop that we used?
I guess, was that a prop, or did someone actually have a pack of Unhinged on hand?
Oh, that was actually a pack of Unhinged. I mean, like we're doing it for Wizards, and so part of the thing is that if we need like in there, James and I are ripping open a box of Gatecrash, we have the privilege of being able to say, we need a box of Gatecrash to open because the store is not just going to let us rip a whole bunch of Gatecrash open. And so we got a hold of our friend Mike, and we were like, hey, we need these packs. And he went around and was like, does anyone have a pack of Unhinged? And apparently he talked to like 25 or 30 Wizards employees and was like, does anyone have a pack of Unhinged? And he got to, I think it was Scott Larrabee, who's in charge of like yeah, the warehouse. It was like, yeah, I got like 10 cases at the warehouse. And Mike's like, that's not helpful. That's not, we can't crack a case for it. And eventually, our friend Dan, was able to provide one. So they all came, that one, and the Zendikar pack, and the Urza's Destiny all came from various people at Wizards.
And thank you to them. For a while, it was kind of dire. We're like, we'll make do with a wrapper if you can just find a wrapper from them.
Yeah, we're fine with that. We just need, because it would have looked bad if we tried to fake it. The unhinged packs have a very distinct kind of texture to it. It's weird. Yeah, they're like paper, but they're weird. Lily, you got someone else? Thank you, by the way.
Just a quick question. Well, two questions actually for you guys. For Graham, are you going to be a ringside announcer in the future? In Magic the Gathering tournaments, announcing cards?
I would love to do that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If they had Rich and Richard Marshall and BDM in the booth, and then also just me being like, and now, just doing all the ridiculous card announcing, that would actually make the live broadcasts go a lot longer. Probably not ideal.
I love you, Graham, but I would not watch that.
No,
just a follow-up.
God, can you imagine narrating someone going off with the egg stick? With that slow cadence. And he cracks his chromatic star.
Sorry, just a follow-up. Are you going to do any, I think it was called Gay Chicken in the future episodes, if I remember?
That was a special Bill and Morgan thing. The game of Gay Chicken is something they have mastered, and that I don't feel the rest of us need to really try.
Graham, James, why you don't play Magic right?
Why we don't play Magic right?
Because so me and Graham's idea when we started to draft and when we do the Academy videos is not to play correctly, but to play entertainingly. And it leads to terrible plays, and especially during are you talking more specifically our live streams or our Academy drafts? The Academy drafts? Yeah, actually, we don't have much of an excuse for those ones. We probably should be better at those ones.
The problem is, we try to be entertaining, right? And no matter what we do, someone else, someone in the comments wants us to do the other thing. So if we go really, really hard with we have a rule, we're only going to pick cards like this or something, someone in the comments will be like, this would have been a lot better if you guys had allow yourselves some leeway to not be so doggedly stuck to this rule. And then if we do that, we're we're going to do this rule, and then we sort of make a case for ourselves, and we're but I think we're going to take this card. Someone in the comments is you didn't stick to your rule!
Yeah. And so we've sort of gone the rule way. There's a lot of awesome content out there for people who want to watch Magic and get better at it.
I'd highly recommend Marshall and Simon's drafts on the same side.
Absolutely. So watch them if you want to learn, and watch us if you want to yell at your screen.
Hi.
Hey.
This is more of an A than a Q. I came here last year and saw your panel, and I keep being disappointed that you haven't dragged Paul in. It feels like together you are an unbeatable duo. And he would add a lot to the panel.
Yeah, I mean, he came to the first PAX East?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
and the second one.
And the second one, yeah. It's, conventions just aren't really Paul's speed, and we're not going to force him to, so.
He'll be at Calgary this year, if any of you guys can make it to Calgary.
Yeah, he'll be at the Calgary Comic Expo.
Yeah.
If any of you who live near Calgary. One of you could.
Also, neither of these idiots have texted me, so they're not watching us. It's kind of mean, really. I should say, I will text them.
Why are you watching us?
So, it's kind of a two-parter. First part, is there anything that you don't want to put into Commodore Hustle for fear of your public image changing? Like a joke or like a pun or something like that?
What can we do that we do in real life that's worse than what we've already done in Commodore Hustle? I mean, I don't know, do you have any suggestions, examples?
Well, I mean, Kathleen Queen seems to go straight for the fart and/or dick jokes, and
Yeah, that's all
there is a
feed
line.
dump.
That's true. But I mean, like, you know, there's a line that you guys do tend to keep to more, shall we say, generally friendly jokes.
Occasionally. I mean, like, it's kind of a weird line to, I don't know. I never intentionally censor anything I write in Commodore Hustle, but Commodore Hustle is more about, like, us interacting with ourselves, and there's not often where I'm just going to be like, James, dick bones. Right? Like, it's not going to come that often in real life.
I'm going to write that into one now.
You got laugh.
Yeah.
They'll probably accuse us of reusing you. It's like, I already saw that joke.
Like, the nice thing is that, you know, like we joke about, you know, no one who's been in a LoadingReadyRun video has a political career, you know, but we know all the worst, like the advantage to doing what we do is that we know all the worst things of us that are on the internet because we put it there.
So, and I guess the second part to that, do you ever have somebody take your Commodore Hustle character as your real life persona and try and treat you accordingly?
Kinda. I feel like Matt gets the worst end of that deal.
Yeah.
Because in Commodore Hustle, he is, I believe it's on TV tropes as like the butt monkey. I think that's yeah, where he's like the butt of jokes or whatever. And so then people in real life, you know, are like, Matt, and then we have to be like, no, guys, we like Matt.
He's our friend.
I mean, we rib him, but we're his friends. You know, so like, yeah, that. But no, I mean, like we've had people, you know, sort of like jokingly be like, hey, quote that's sort of relevant to your character, huh? And then we're like, whoa, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, not really, but yeah, all right, cool. So, yeah, not really to a great extent. Is that you receiving a text?
Yeah, that's your sister saying those other guys might not be watching, but I am.
Where is Lily gone now?
There's one over here and
There's a bunch
There's a lot
up in this region as well. So.
yeah.
No, don't do that one. But I mean, in the future, we'd say, hey, we got
half an hour.
Okay, my first question is, what birthed your obsession with hats?
Okay, so first episode of Feed Dump, I knew that we wanted it to be different from The Fail House, which was a similar sort of show that we'd done before, and then of course whatever things before that. We knew we wanted Feed Dump to be different, but I'm gonna level with you. We didn't plan like anything for what has developed into Feed Dump. We had the name. Originally we were actually just gonna call it like The Dump. Or The Feed. No, The Feed. There we go. But there's a show called The Feed on, well, I guess it's on G4, so
Not anymore, yeah.
rebrand.
Yeah.
And you know, it's gonna be like, all right, I'll read the stories and we'll get two people in and they'll rotate and they'll react and we'll make jokes about it. That's about as far as we got. And then because we were shooting it in like the room where we keep our props and costumes, the very first episode we were like, ooh, I have a wig for this, hang on. And so we did that. And then it just hats came into it over the course of the episode, and then it was like, oh, now I have this hat. And then next week I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do a different hat. And then it just turned into a thing. It was certainly never planned, but the major hat craze certainly happened around the first episode of Feed Dump.
Yeah.
As did the opening titles of Feed Dump is typically a word that rhymes with news. I should not have done that. Because they're getting weird. Yeah. On the LoadingReadyRun wiki, by the way, if you have a word that rhymes with news, on the LoadingReadyRun wiki there is a page called Suggested Feed Dump Words that lists all the words we've used so far and a community-built list of suggested words. That's been very useful some weeks.
And to follow up on that last question, how did you guys get so many hats?
You guys send them to us mostly.
Yeah. I mean, we had a bunch of hats already because of the sketch comedy series, and hats are a great prop. But since starting Feed Dump, we've been given
a lot of
lots
hats.
of hats. Actually,
While he finds the next hat, can we have another question, Lee?
Yes.
Given this today, how had we not had a deer stalker before today? I don't know. This is from the Sherlock Holmes Memorabilia Company in London. Yeah. So, go ahead, deer stalker.
So in the intro for the Friday nights, there's all those shots of you guys at Magic cards. Is there any place where you can actually see those cards? I want to see like what creatures you
We're
guys
slowly rolling them out on the blog.
Yeah.
So they'll come out. You'll see them. Some of them are not technically playable because they reference keywords and things that don't exist, and some of them are not playable just because they're completely busted.
Well, I tried to take into account the personality of the people on the card, so I made Cam's card on purpose.
Broken.
Absolutely disgustingly broken, because that's the way he'd want it.
I think my favorite is Paul's from the first season, which was you can like flash in an artifact from your hand, but it comes in with, or an artifact creature, but it comes in with -1/-1 counters because he fixed it. He made it like faster, but it's worse. I really like that.
Speaking of Friday nights, I'm kind of embarrassed to say I just recently realized that it was a show and not just another series of Magic draft like videos.
Oh, okay.
Is there like an archive of them?
Yeah. The first 4 are on our YouTube account in a playlist, or on LoadingReadyRun.com under Commodore Hustle. We should probably move those to the Magic. No, the old ones are under Hustle. We should move them to the Magic category. Yeah. So yeah, they're on. Yeah.
How many of you still have day jobs, and how?
Not many. I'm the only one between the current 4 of us that splits his time, and it's about 30 hours, 20 hours. 30 in my other job, actually, still. But Graham, Kathleen, and Paul are all full-time.
Yeah, right when Strip Search sort of pre-production / Desert Run started ramping up, I went part-time at my job, and after Desert Bus was over in the beginning of December, I went on a sabbatical, and on a sabbatical until Strip Search is done.
Because I was like, I cannot do this by myself. So actually, you might have noticed that Kathleen has been doing, on top of helping with Strip Search, she's been doing main editing duties on Loading Ready Run and Checkpoint and Feed Dump recently. You do everything. Here, you do all the work I was doing before, and then this other work, so I can do all this other different work.
So last month, your GPLP with Curse Crusade wrapped up. First, how bad was that really?
That game was so annoying. Now, granted, the second recording that we did, he's asking how bad the Cursed Crusade game was that we did the Let's Play with myself and Paul and our friend Brad. Granted, I forgot how to parry partway through, so that might have made things a little bit more frustrating. But, good lord. Anyone who's seen the last episode of that Let's Play knows how badly that game ends. And it's just like, you want some kind of payoff after going through all the crap of the rest of that game. And you get to the end and you're just like, I feel so empty now.
And then as a follow-up, do you have any, what are your plans for the next one?
We have a couple ideas. We were actually, because we've given them such crap on Unskippable, we were seriously considering, we actually made a joke about this at Commodore Hustle, we were seriously considering doing an Atelier Tutori, or not Tutori, one of the Atelier games, like Atelier Tutori or Verona or Meruru, and there's a new one coming, so yay. Look for that episode on Unskippable. Yeah, exactly. We were seriously considering doing one, and we were going to be like, okay, if we do that, because it's an RPG, we'll get a walkthrough, and we'll ignore side quests, and we'll just be like, main plot. And then Paul looked it up, and this joke was in Hustle, Paul looked it up, and it's like, there isn't really a main plot. It's like, the point of the game is to just do basically it's side quest in a game. You do a whole bunch of side quests for all the local townsfolk, and you try to get more people to...
I hate games
move to your town and
Like, if I
patronize
wanted
your alchemy shop, and then you win.
Like, if I wanted to help out random strangers who want irritating things from me, why wouldn't I help people in real life? Like, why wouldn't I?
I just love the second game. It's like her mother is like an RPG adventurer who like left, and she's like,
To go do something more interesting in a better game.
But she's like, I'm gonna go find my mom. I'm gonna be my own RPG adventurer and go find her. Right after I figure out how to be an alchemist, and she never leaves. She's just there. She's the teacher in the next game.
All right.
So we're not sure. Possibly some sort of RPG if we can figure out when we can do it in a reasonable time.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Question for you. It's a serious question.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll say it, yeah.
How much foreskin do you think is too much foreskin?
This came up, and it was probably you.
It was
This
me.
came up during the Game and Take.
I'm gonna hit every Q&A I can.
Okay. I like it.
Now,
okay, so
Jerry's take on it was 2 pounds.
that is a lot.
I think that's like overshooting. I think
Like 1.8.
probably.
1.8.
You probably don't need any more than a kilo of force.
Thank you for the metric. I'm
I
also
think it can
paying.
be answered pretty simply with a ratio, which is any greater than 1 to 1. If your foreskin is longer than the rest of your penis,
If
that's
you look like
probably
a,
too much.
if you look like a sad elephant,
I'm good, thanks.
That's very serious. I think we handled that well.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to follow that up?
I think we helped that man.
Yes.
I know you guys have people sending in their own ideas for sketches, but what is the worst one you've ever heard?
The worst idea?
The worst, I'm sorry.
The worst idea we've ever had sent in for a sketch.
You never come up with yourselves.
Ooh.
oh. That's such a rich vein.
Oh, I know. It's an idea you've had.
Oh yeah. This will never.
3 words.
Are we just gonna give them those?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you the 3 words.
All right.
All right, hold on.
And you can figure out
I can't
how
give
would that
you
work
the
as a
answers.
sketch, and then you'd be like, oh, that's why it would work as a sketch.
Okay, 3 words.
Sexual assault robot.
Played by me.
Don't that's not like
Because
that.
that makes it better.
Yeah. All right.
Hi guys.
Why did we give the short person the mic?
Yeah, I don't know where she is.
Oh my god. That's why.
So, longtime fans are very happy to finally see a logo on bionic trousers after seeing it at the end of videos for so long. And we know you've done production for corporate training videos before, but now with it being official, are you moving more into a production space because you started off just doing comedy?
I think that's something that we worked out maybe like a year and a half ago. We were like, what do we want to be doing? Like, do we think that it's like we want to do comedy, obviously, but is that gonna be able to keep going forever?
Can we eat?
Probably, probably not. And so we realized that we don't want to just stop doing what we do, but it makes sense to move into to sort of shift our focus into less of we're a sketch comedy troupe that like does some stuff to we're a video production house that makes sketch comedy and that are comedians but that can do other stuff as well, which is why we were so excited to do stuff like Friday nights, which is stuff that we do anyway but for a corporate client, or something like Strip Search, which is different again, and we're looking to sort of
The movement stuff.
Yeah,
the
sort of
stuff.
yeah. See what kind of things we can do that are different but are still
good.
Yeah, still good and still us. And so we've been excited about that. But yeah, it is. I think it was a conscious thing that's like we want to look at becoming more of a video production house than a sketch comedy troupe that does other things. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Good.
I've been watching your various Magic Draft videos and thoroughly enjoying them. And since I play Magic myself, I'm still trying to get into it. It's like 2 years. It's still it's kind of hard to understand the rules of Magic sometimes. It's very complex. But that just brings up, have you been playing Magic before making videos of it? If so, how long?
Most of us played briefly, and I actually played should be in heavy quotation marks in like grade school.
Yeah.
Around when
like the
mid-90s. Visions and Mirage, those really old expansions.
Yeah.
And then I played in heavy quotation marks. I mean, like, I got Magic cards. I bought this Ice Age starter. It has all 5 colors. Let's play. You know, and like not really understanding the rules. It was more into it for like collecting the cards. And then, well, how long was it?
2010. It was Prime.
PAX Prime 2010. We got the little starter decks.
Those
in the swag bags.
Some of the bitches at Wizards put those starter decks.
And we were waiting in line, and we were like, "Oh man, Magic! We should play Magic. That'd be fun." Oh, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Oh, okay, I see." And so yeah, we started doing that, and we played for a while. And how long did it take us before we made the?
Well, It's Magic. No, It's Magic came out in like November, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was like 2.5 months.
Yeah, it
later we
wasn't
did that.
long.
We were just like, man, this has taken over our lives. We should really do an episode of Commodore Hustle about it.
Yeah.
And then Wizards saw the episode, and the rest is history.
Really sorry to all the people that are projecting.
God, there's a lot of questions. Need more time.
All right, so I understand Strip Shirts was predominantly funded by Penny Arcade's Kickstarter. Have you guys considered running your own Kickstarters for larger budget projects?
We've considered it, but
we
need to, like, the problem is we need the right project and we need the time to devote to it, right? We can't run a Kickstarter now because we wouldn't even start working on it until after we're finished the production on Strip Search. So.
We've definitely been kicking around a couple ideas. But yeah, like,
I see what you did there.
It would need to be for a thing. Like, we couldn't just be like, kickstart our continued stuff that we're already doing. Yeah. It works for Double Fine. Right. Well, no, because they're doing the game, right? I mean, you know, there needs to be a specific, like.
And Tim Schafer doesn't work for LoadingReadyRun, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't.
No, we had to let him go. We had to let him go. It's just too good. He was making the rest of us look bad. And we've got a couple ideas for things that could work for that, but we've got to sort of figure it out. Hopefully, before people get sick of Kickstarter, if they aren't already. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Hello.
Hello.
So, of all the feed dump stories that you've done, which one would you say is probably the most hilarious or memorable?
Most memorable feed dump story. See, like recency. Yeah. It means that like stuff in my head from just this past week is there, but I know. Oh, I'm trying to think of one. Which one in the hot tub though?
The hot tub episode was great.
Yeah.
Who was on that one?
Oh God, the tumor meat story. That was good.
Tumor meat.
Don't say it.
All right, let's just go with that one.
Yeah. Wow. I was trying to get through.
Maple syrup.
Oh, the maple syrup is also really good.
That was funny just because it came up at PAX. That's part of our. If you've seen it online, it's part of our PAX Prime panel. Was it the most recent one? Was it at the most recent panel? It was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that you filmed. Yeah. We didn't know that much maple syrup could still roll.
All right, next question.
I got two.
Yeah.
First, when are we going to finally see a Ravnica block hat draft?
Oh.
There's like so few hats in Ravnica so far. I think we're gonna need to do like a best dressed. We're gonna have to do a Lee Sharpley dressed draft because there's so few like. All the Innistrad cards were just like great hats, every single card. And this one, there's just not as many good hats. Yeah. We could stretch into like helmets and stuff, but then who are we kidding really? Who would we be without our integrity?
Secondly, more seriously, obviously you guys are super busy with like strip search now and everything else you're doing, but is there a plan to try and catch up more with the DVDs?
Yes. Well, I mean, what did we just do? Well, not just, but recently we did the Magic and the Whatever Thing DVD. So that was sort of like two ends of the spectrum. That was like one thing from like way back in the archives, and one thing that was very, very recent, which we had to do because we had like the thing we worked out with Wizards of the Coast. We had a set time. It was like we have to produce these now.
Yeah.
There will be, by the way, it was done into the contract this time. There will be a DVD of the second season of Friday Nights, which is nice.
That's for season 6.
Season 6,
7, 8.
Season 6 is next on the list.
Yeah, maybe like I would like to think that's sort of the summer project.
Yeah.
It's getting 6 and 7 going as quickly as possible. So we hope to hopefully soon. Look for it holiday 2013. we better have 6 out by holiday 2013.
That's feasible.
That's completely feasible. How is that not feasible?
Have you met us?
Yeah, but you're full time now. You can work.
We're capable. Anyways, next question, quickly.
So, I know Kathleen said she was really stoked about the Blizz announcement coming up. I was just curious if we could get a quick preview of what the reaction is going to be on Checkpoint for it.
Well, I mean, we called it, right? We gave stupid ice. We gave 2 options and on an episode of Checkpoint about, because Blizzard was like, we're announcing something in PAX, but you know, we're just announcing that, you know, they weren't like being like, we're announcing something. They were just like, yeah, we have an announcement. So it's like, okay, so either they're afraid that it's going to be so mind-shattering that they don't want to, you know, they don't want to scare us, or it's going to be kind of underwhelming and they don't want to piss people off. Guess which one it was. So, I don't know, I guess we could put balloons back up again and be like, we called it. We gave 2 options, but we called it. It's a binary choice.
Or at least the hedging our bets balloons. It's one balloon.
If there was a way to fashion like half a balloon.
We just dropped 2 balloons and pop one. All right.
So yesterday you won a Magic draft at 0 time on your clock. How did you do it and what were you playing?
Okay, so on the flight here, our friend Marshall, who does the Limited Resources podcast, mostly I see this hashtag coming from him on Twitter, but he's like, because he flies to do coverage at various Magic events, and he's like, gonna draft in the plane, hashtag Skydraft. Because if you get the go-go in-flight internet, you can, you know, it's enough that you can play Magic online. And so I was like, I'm gonna Skydraft, because I have it on my laptop now. I'm like, yeah, and I really, really wanted to do this. But this was like Nerd Force 1 coming in from Seattle. So like we were on the flight, he was on the flight, Chris and Scott were on the flight, an embarrassment of enforcers, Ian and Major Nelson from Microsoft were on the flight. Like, there was a big flight of people, all like half of it I think was coming to PAX. So the in-flight internet on that flight sucked. But I would not be dissuaded. So I start the draft, I get through the first pack of picks, connection dies, Magic Online fails. I don't get to pick a card for my entire second pack. It just auto picks, and I get 1 or 2 from the third pack. Then I can start picking again, and I end up with this weird, ridiculous deck. And my clock keeps running every time I try to do something, but it takes a long time for all my inputs to go through. So I'm like way behind on the clock. For those who haven't played Magic Online, there's a strict 50-minute time limit for each round, and that's 25 minutes for each player. So if one player takes too long to make all their decisions, it's like a chess clock, it's only one of them's running at a time. If one player takes too long to make all their decisions, then they just lose. It's just like, you lose the match because you were taking too long. And so all my stuff was taking too long to do, and it was being slow. And I got to a point where if I had another full turn, I would get him dead because he was tapped out, and I had a flying creature, and he had no way to block it, and it had 3 power, and he was at 1 life. but I had 3 seconds. And so I was just like jamming F6, which is like, just don't ask me anything, just get me to the next turn. Got to my attack step as soon as I could, sent the flyer into attack, and then again hit F6. It was just like, it's your priority forever now. And so all he could do was either sit there and concede or accept that that attack was going through and take the damage, and it just worked out. It was like, we did it, and then it was like, boop, you win.
So, out of everything that you've seen at PAX East so far this year, what's your favorite?
Oh man, I haven't seen much. Jerry's fruit fucker costume is amazing. Yeah, if you didn't see the Mike and Jerry Q&A this morning, Jerry was wearing a full costume. It was one of the Kickstarter tiers was that he had to be in costume, I think, and it was amazing. A little weird because he had to hold the microphone up to his eye, where he was in relation to the costume, but it was a really cool outfit. I haven't seen much.
Go, Lily, go. Run.
Nope.
So, for interesting Magic formats, have you ever tried Block Popper Constructed?
No, you madman. Take the mic away from him.
It took me a second to...
Actually, that sounds kind of neat.
It sounds fun. It took me a second to...
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that actually sounds kind of neat.
I'll try that.
Hi guys.
Hey.
I have a question from someone who can't make it here today, and then a request for someone different who couldn't make it here today.
All right.
And that first question was, do you know why kids love the great taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Why do kids love the great taste of cinnamon toast?
I'm asking you.
It tastes good. One with it tastes good.
They might just be disappointed with that, but it's truthful.
It's the great taste of cinnamon and toast together.
I don't know.
So moving on, my request is for Alex who couldn't be here.
Yeah.
And if the audience could help me with this,
Oh
that'd be
God,
great.
I know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, you do. So I troll Alex a lot with this for years and years, where I say, hey Alex, Garugamesh, and it just always works. I don't know why. And I'm wondering if on the count of 3, you all can say, hey Alex, Garugamesh.
Yeah, they can do that.
Okay, sure.
And we'll do that.
1, 2, 3.
Hey Alex, Garugamesh.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
I respect the depths to which you trolled him.
All right. Couple more minutes, guys.
We got a couple more. We have Monday's LoadingReadyRun video to post. We can probably only do like one more question.
All right, one more question, 2 if they're fast.
So on the topic of drafting poorly for entertainment, I created a multiplayer Magic Cube made for drafts where you do like 4-player games afterwards. And one night at my apartment, we did a wacky ball draft of it.
Oh yeah.
And it was surprisingly fun. So me and my friends wanted to know if you guys wanted to join us tomorrow for a wacky ball draft of my terrible cube.
Tomorrow, I don't think we're going to be able to, but we're planning to set aside some time on Sunday to just hang out in the tournament area downstairs. We'll probably play some Commander. I don't know if we'll have time for a full draft, but we're going to hopefully have some.
I'd love to see it though.
Magic time. Yeah, definitely want to see the cube.
Yeah. So we'll let everybody know if you play Magic, what time to come out on Sunday.
Okay, thanks.
All right, one more. Oh God, Lily, have fun.
I don't like rejecting people. So much pressure. Okay, you look
So last year, I gave you guys about 900 Book in the Dark cards.
Yes, you did.
What did you guys do with them?
They are sitting in a cupboard in our office. Good question. The bumps.
Yeah.
We had ideas and we had plans and we wanted to do something for
There's
Christmas.
still something I want to do with those. Yeah.
We have about 2,000, maybe 2,500 of them. So like there's stuff we can do and we're definitely going to make something happen. We just need costumes.
Yeah, we need some of those things that you have, the little... No, it's fine. With the sticky together Stick cards together things.
Everybody give Lily a round of applause.
Thank you, Lily. If you're not already, you should watch extra credits.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we are showing Monday's Loading Ready Run video.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Trousers, pantaloons, leggings, jeans, slacks, they go by different names, but in many ways, pants may be our most precious resource. Whether attending a fancy dress party, climbing Mount Everest, or just going to the grocery store, pants cover our shame, keep us warm, and store precious things in their pockets. But was this always the case? Was there a time before pants? And if so, what changed? What's the whole story?
I'm going to apologize right now for the green flashes. That's rendering errors, and we'll get it re-rendered. Like Kate coming to our apartment.
But we're glad to see you guys like the whole story.
I'm Nigel Fitzgerald Brewer, and the answer to these questions is a definitive maybe. You see, up until 3 years ago, lower body apparel historians generally agreed that the concept of pants was developed in 1948 by European fashion designer Sonja de Lenart and her revolutionary garment, the capri pant. But in 2010, the discovery of a fossilized dinosaur wearing primitive chinos go back to square one and really re-examine the It turns out that pants were not only routinely worn by the more fashion-conscious dinosaurs, but they were also depicted in ancient petroglyphs found in Australia and southwestern North America. Now, the pants in these images are obviously quite primitive and lack modern innovations like boot-cut legs and fifth pocket for change. But this is understandable, since both boots and change were not invented for another 2,300 years. Strangely enough, it appears that pants fell out of favor sometime around 5000 BC. And by the rise of ancient Egypt in 3150 BC, the secrets of pants manufacturing were all but lost. It has been proposed that the warm weather and casual attitudes towards nudity prevalent in the region at the time made pants unnecessary. But historians now agree that the open leg stance of the figures in most ancient Egyptian art indicates severe chafing was a rampant problem, meaning that led to the eventual downfall of the empire. Records from the Scottish, Greek, and Roman empires circa 50 BC show that even during this time of philosophy, enlightenment, and technological advancement, the engineering skills to make pants still eluded them. We can only speculate how history would have changed if the legendary prowess and discipline of the Imperial Roman Army had been combined with the elegance and comfort of, for example, Levi's 511 slim fit jeans. Their stylishness alone would have led to a decisive victory. While archaeologists have discovered various experimental proto-pants from the intervening centuries, it wasn't until the late Middle Ages that we really began to see pants in widespread use again. As with many innovations, the rediscovery and popularization of pants was due to war, specifically the 100 Years' War, which saw cavalry outfitted with plate armor for the first time. Previous experiments with making armor out of rigid plates have been unsuccessful until the idea of forming each leg separately was suggested. This small change allowed a soldier to straddle his horse much easier. The armor was so successful that when soldiers returned from war, they wanted to continue having the freedom of two separate legs in their clothes. Soon a whole industry grew up to produce more comfortable clothing from the original plate armor designs. These garments were often referred to as pan plate, in reference to the frayed legs of the Greek god Pan, and were usually made from wool, cotton, or polyester, and became immensely popular with everyone from peasants to the aristocracy. Over time, the pan plate name was shortened to simply pants. As time went on, pants continued to be extremely popular, which led to experiments with new designs, cuts, and conventions. For instance, in the 18th century, a man's wealth was denoted by the number of legs his pants had. There are accounts of Louis XIV arriving at a party wildly put. At the opening of the 20th century, the burgeoning field of pants science began to study the effects of different pants on the human body in an effort to find the perfect design, or what was referred to as the philosopher's trousers. Of course, the answer seems so obvious now, but it took an international team of scientists almost 80 years to arrive at the perfect mix of style, fabric, and color that we all wear today. So there you have it. From good times to bad, through fancy parties and war, pants have always been with us. So the next time you think you know all about something, remember, you may not know the whole story.
Everyone's around.
Because jeans, get it?
Trousers, pantaloons,
Thank you all so much for coming. It was a blast. We have a booth down in Bandland, in secret second Bandland, on the other side of the escalators, directly across from the washroom. So convenience. We'll be there tomorrow. We'll be there Sunday. We've got shirts and DVDs and all sorts of fun stuff. Or just come say hi. We'd love to say hi. So thank you guys. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.